Season still about 4 months away, but that don't mean that the trash talking can't begin, especially if you're somebody like Roquan Smith, because he was on NFL Network yesterday and he was asked, man, the first game being in Buffalo, Roquan, how you feeling about that? And he said the following, he said, yeah, that's just how I like it. He said, revenge is best served as a cold dish. He said, it would be nice to get up to Buffalo and get a little payback for those guys from the end of last year. And of course, he's referring to the Baltimore Ravens being kicked out, eliminated, tossed out of the NFL playoffs by them Buffalo Bills last season. And Roquan Smith is kind of right. It'll be nice you starting off with Buffalo, so you got a tough task from jump. Remember last year, the Ravens started with the Kansas City Chiefs. And if not for the hair of the chinny chin, or actually the inches, toes, literal toes of Isaiah Likely, then that game could have went a little bit differently. But we can't get revenge for last year. It's literally impossible because that was a playoff game. If you lost in the playoffs, you can't avenge that because that season is done. That Super Bowl champion is them, obviously the Philadelphia Eagles, but still, that's a wrap. So anything that you do this, especially in a regular season, you can't really get revenge. But it would be nice to go up to Buffalo and punch them in the mouth and come away with a win. Because the last couple times we've been in Buffalo, we ain't won. So it will be nice to fix that. But I do appreciate how Roquan Smith is not shying away from the Buffalo Bills, as you would not expect him to, or really any Baltimore Ravens. What I have seen, though, I've seen a lot of Ravens fans sort of turning on Roquan Smith a bit. And I don't even think it's that the Ravens fans are turning on Roquan Smith. I think Ravens fans are just tired. Ravens fans are just tired of the same old stuff. And I don't even really think it exactly has to do with Roquan Smith, but because Roquan is the mouthpiece, then a lot of people, they address it to him. And what I mean when I say that is because Roquan Smith obviously a lead on his team. Roquan Smith, he's going to be the one that comes with all these sayings and whatnot, these one-liners and whatnot. Oh, revenge is a dish best served cold, and I can't wait. You know Roquan Smith already. But Ravens fans are just tired of, steamrolling the regular season. Oh, yeah, we got that. No doubt about that. Ain't no worries, no doubts in our minds, anything. But then when it comes to playoffs, we keep just getting bounced year after year after year. I saw somebody quote tweet what Roquan Smith said, and they said, man, we've been looking for revenge since 2018. And I said, oh, man, it's true. It's true. And then year after year, because 2018, that's when Lamar started from the middle of the year, and the Ravens, they just got hot, and then playoffs, we know what happened. Then 2019, they went crazy. They won 12 games in a row, went 14-2, had the number one seed, had a bye week, and then they were at the crib for the playoffs. We're like, everything running through Baltimore, what happened? They got kicked. And then the following year, we don't get a home playoff game, but we play away. But we play the Titans, and we got revenge on the Titans, right? Because it was a playoff game. They eliminated us the year before, but this time we eliminated them at their home field. But then we played the Buffalo Bills, and we got bounced. Then the next couple of years, we didn't make the playoffs due to contract issues and contract just disputes. But then when we made it back, 2023, Ravens were looking good, number one seed. We got it. Nope. We didn't. We lost. We beat the Texans, and then we faced the Chiefs, and you know the rest of the story. And then last year, we started off the season shaky, started off a little slow, but then we picked up steam. We were like, all right, these are the real Baltimore Ravens showing up now. Here we go. Get to the playoffs, beat up on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then we like, we going up against the Buffalo Bills? There's been all this MVP talk about Josh Allen. No, Lamar should have that. And what happened? We ended up losing. And while it was a close game, dramatic game, but we still lost. And it's just been in different ways, it's been the same results. So while I don't really think Ravens fans are turning on Roquan Smith, Ravens fans are just tired of going through the same process year after year after year. High, heavy hitting regular season team with their chest out like, yeah, we like that. Because they do be like that in the regular season, but then come playoffs, we end up getting put out. So it's just the frustration from that. That's it. But hopefully this season will be different. We know Ravens can show up in the playoffs. We know they could get it done in the playoffs, but they just got to consistently get it done in the playoffs. On both sides of the ball, they got to finish, man. And they got to stop beating themselves up. But speaking of the playoffs, Ravens face a couple of playoff teams from jumping. Kyle Van Noy, another Baltimore Ravens veteran, this is what he had to say about the schedule opening the way it does. He said, "We are live. Bullets out the gate this year, huh? That's a lot of playoff teams. 3 home games in a row. Weird. 3 away games in a row. Super weird. Thanksgiving at home against who they or who that. Not sure which one it'll be. Cinema." Yeah, it should be. But he said no Christmas game this year on the road. Thank the heavens. 3 out of the last 4 on the road. Fun times ahead. So Kyle Van Noy letting me know how he feels about the schedule, that it is weird. And I mean, I'm sure however the schedule went, however the games were placed, whatever order they were in, it would all be weird. Because that's how we always feel about every single schedule. Like, why is it like this? Why is it not like that? It's always going to be something. But you saw even him. He took a little shot at them Cincinnati Bengals, who we did sweep last year. So I understand the shots. And I mean, hey, it's football. People going to talk their trash. But he said, yeah, we got Thanksgiving at the crib against who they or who that. Not sure which one it is. But it'll be cinema. And it should be cinema because, I mean, y'all remember how them Bengals games went last year. Now, granted, they were before our defense had a significant turnaround. But still, the Bengals, like, they always bring it against our Baltimore Ravens. But when Lamar Jackson is a starter, they don't bring it quite enough. And hopefully that continues because we want Lamar Jackson. That only loss that he got against the Cincinnati Bengals, we want that streak to continue. But either way, these veterans, they showing like, hey, we ready for whatever this year. But hopefully the veterans, the rookies, people that been in the game for only a couple of years, hopefully this team comes together and finishes. So team, keep it clean. We reached my favorite part of the videos where we get to feature your questions. If you would like to take part in it, send an email to teamkeepitclean@gmail.com for the patrons. And if you'd like to join them, you can go to patreon.com/Ingravenvids. You can send a DM directly on there. And shout out to everybody, man. Special shout out to the Team Keep It Clean channel members holding it down. Special shout out to my guy, Alfonso, because Alfonso, he the first person that cop some of the Team Keep It Clean merch. So I appreciate you, baby. Thank you for that. Now, without further ado, that kind of made my day right there. I appreciate that a lot, my friend. So let's get into these questions. I really love y'all, man. And thank y'all for everything. I really do. So first question came from a Team Keep It Clean patron, my guy, Jason. He said, with the 3rd least travel miles in the NFL, the Ravens are in a good spot heading into Week 8. Less travel usually means less wear and tear, which has helped us in past playoff runs. We were just talking about that. We were just talking about recent playoff runs, which is literally the past because it happened before today. So anything that happened before today is in the past. So it ain't helped enough. It's helped a lot. Like, that's what we've been talking about too with the Ravens. There have been no excuses. There have been none. Because for these recent playoffs that they've had, they've been super, super healthy, man. Super healthy. So everything's been there for them. They've had everything that they've needed in order to succeed in the playoffs, and they still failed. They got to get it done. They got to fix it, man. But anyway, he said, but with an early bye week in Week 7, will the team be able to stay fresh through the long stretch ahead, or will injuries be the death of us? No, they should be good. I think they should be good. Because, yeah, that is a good point, though. Because them late buys, they do help with, it's like, oh, a lot of people will be ailing and whatnot. And that late buy gives you a chance to, all right, take a little breather, relax a little bit, rejuvenate, refresh yourselves. But now it's super, super early. So this is much different than recent Ravens schedules. But they got to find a way. They're going to have to find a way. And this is why depth is so important. It's extremely important because guys get banged up. Football is a very physical, it's a very violent sport. So guys are hurting all the time. Even if they're not injured, they still hurting all the time. So their strength and conditioning team, their recovery team, everybody is going to have to be extra on their A game this season for the Baltimore Ravens to have the ultimate success. Sneak dissing. Next question came from my guy Alex. He said, hey, how's it going? Hope all is well for you and your family. He said, is Kyle Van Noy sneak disrespecting Lamar lately? I recently just watched Kyle Van Noy on ESPN mentioning Lamar needs to be better in the playoffs. Also, I saw another clip of Kyle Van Noy saying that Lamar is not a top 5 QB to play against. I know Lamar is his teammate, but it feels weird to me for not putting him on there. Not even an honorable mention. He says he doesn't want to give Lamar too much credit. Our defense has not had any turnovers in the playoffs since 2020 with Marcus Peters, may I add. So I don't know how to feel about this. It's got me kind of feeling weird a little bit, and it feels like those two clips back-to-back are a jab to Lamar, and he doesn't appreciate him that much. Now, with you saying all of that, think about it, and I know there's some other people that feel the same way. Think about this, man. What good would it do Kyle Van Noy to diss Lamar? What good would that do him? He's on the same team with Lamar Jackson. That's his starting quarterback. What good would it do for him to diss Lamar Jackson? It wouldn't do any good for him at all. It would be pointless. They were not disses at all. With the top 5 list of quarterbacks that he goes against, he said, who are your top 5 quarterbacks to go against? And he left Lamar for that. He don't go against Lamar Jackson. You can say in practice, but he don't go against Lamar Jackson. And Kyle Van Noy, actually, he took to Twitter to clear a lot of that stuff up. Because even Gerald McCoy, who we were trying to get a couple years back, he said, Kyle Van Noy, how dare you? A 2-time Super Bowl winner who played alongside the greatest of all time and knows what that next step looks like, challenge your already elite QB to take that next step. He said, how dare you want to win another championship and understand y'all go as far as 8, Lamar Jackson, takes you, and you challenge him. How dare you encourage a guy who's already said they want to take the next step and know that they can? How dare you, you bum? Then he put the laughing emojis after that. Again, sarcasm, of course. And Kyle Van Noy said, I'm a big meanie. And he put the laughing emojis before that. But just letting it be known, like, no, it ain't nothing like a lot of people were taking it as. And then somebody else said, Ravens flock. What Kyle Van Noy said on ESPN was no slight against Lamar. Stop being so soft and sensitive over everything. And Kyle Van Noy responded to that. He said, thanks. We don't care what people think. Just those that believe. Oh, man, coming in with the Friday fire. So Kyle Van Noy is letting it be known, like, look, it wasn't what a lot of people were trying to make it seem. And he also said, there's no way that y'all took that list like it was gospel, right? He said, ain't no way. Lamar Jackson on my team, you slaps. So basically telling people, like, look, that's not that. Because the quarterbacks that he listed that were the toughest to go against, he said Tom Brady, he said Patrick Mahomes, he said Joe Burrow, he said Aaron Rodgers, and he said Josh Allen. And yeah, Lamar Jackson, there was a graphic of Lamar Jackson down there. But I ain't think it was no big. I can understand when you're looking at it, especially, I think, because Ravens fans, we still upset over last year. We still upset over a couple of things from last year. One, not winning the Super Bowl. One, getting bounced in the playoffs from the Bills out of all people. 3, Lamar Jackson not getting that 3rd MVP like we know he deserves, and them giving that charity MVP, that MVP to Josh Allen. So we still upset about that. But anyway, that was last season. So anything that even looks like a slight against Lamar, I know Ravens fans, we be all over it. But Kyle Van Noy, that I didn't take it as that. And again, Kyle Van Noy, he continued to explain that it was not that at all. If you've ever heard Kyle Van Noy speak about Lamar Jackson, you could tell he genuinely loves Lamar Jackson, loves his game, and believes in Lamar Jackson. Like, really listen to him speak. And he even talked about it. He said, oh, y'all must not have seen the other segments where I talked about Lamar Jackson. So it's important that we don't just watch the little clip. And I get it. That clip, as Ravens fans, we sensitive now. We sensitive. I ain't going to say y'all, because we all are sensitive about a lot of different stuff as Ravens fans. I get it. Trust me, I do. But there will be no benefit in Kyle Van Noy sneak dissing Lamar, straight up dissing Lamar. It will be pointless. But he also said, bonus question, with the schedule release coming up, who do you think the Ravens' first game will be against? Whoa, you know how that went. He said, will we be playing at home or away, and what do you think we will be playing? I'm thinking about the Bengals or the Lions in that stadium, early game or primetime game, maybe. Well, you got that part right, because it ended up being a primetime game, Sunday Night Football. He said, thanks again for everything that you do, GOAT. Shout out to my guy, Alex. I appreciate you, my friend. The NFL thinks they slick. Next question came from my guy Anthony. He said, I hope all is well with you and your family. I have only 2 questions. Can someone please explain how the Kansas City Chiefs keep getting a host at their place? It just doesn't add up. Oh, I'm not sure. You mean for the Ravens and Chiefs games? I'm not sure. Last time we got the Chiefs at the crib, minus the playoffs because that don't count. That's not a regular season game, was 2020 when that was a game where nobody was there, right? I think that was the Dolphin away game. I think it was in week 3, 2020, or no, 2021. It was 2021, I believe. One of them two. But yeah, man, that's that game where Dolphin away got that forced fumble at the very end, and Lamar Jackson, they went for it on the 4th down. But that game, that was one of my favorites, man. Whew, because it's like we had finally beat the Chiefs, finally, and then never again. We went back to losing to them after that. But I don't know. Because yeah, whenever we play the Chiefs, it's like it's always at their crib in the regular season. Like always, I'm not sure what is it because they the number one. I don't think that can't be it. I don't know. I don't know what it is. So hey, who knows? But anyway, he said this is the 6th time we faced them since Lamar was drafted, and we've only played at home twice. If you don't count the AFC Championship game, it's like the NFL is rigging the schedule against us. Am I the only one who feels like we're getting robbed here? I got to look into why exactly that is. I got to look into it because I'm not 100% sure. He said, but it doesn't matter. This time we'll beat them by 10. Oh, I like that. I hope so. I would love for the Ravens to. It's like it's just certain teams that you just feel extra good when the Ravens punch them right in the mouth. Obviously, the Bengals, Steelers, Browns. It's like yeah, they the Browns because they don't really be worried about them like that. But Bengals and Steelers, especially recently, Bengals. Oh boy, like when Ravens beat them. Oh, but Ravens. I mean, last year they didn't really beat them up because both teams beat up each other, but both teams scored like 50 points in them games. But those teams especially, but outside the division, Chiefs is one. It's like, we wait because they just put us through so much stress. And the Bills, they another one too. Like you feel extra good. Bow! Right in the kiss. Anyway, he said, thanks. And why you had to do that? He said, and I'm out like Darius Washington, Achilles. He said too soon. Yes, it's way too soon. Way too soon. He said, but all jokes aside, praying for a speedy recovery for him. Oh yeah, we already know, man. Question came from my guy David. He said, what's up, Ingravenvids? What's up, Dave? He said, love your videos. Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you for even taking the time to watch them. He said, keep up the good work. I want to get your opinion. Give us your assessment on a Joe Flacco versus Lamar Jackson comparison, the good and the bad. Individually, Lamar Jackson, he got Joe Flacco. Obviously, and I think he got him by far. Collectively, obviously, Joe Flacco has accomplished. The only thing that Joe Flacco has over Lamar Jackson is obviously the Super Bowl. Once Lamar Jackson gets that, obviously, if you line them up and be like, hey, which one of these two is better? It's Lamar Jackson all day, every day. And that's no shot at Joe Flacco. We love Joe Flacco. Shout out to Flacco. And Joe Flacco is going to be coming back to the crib for the first time since, all he got to do is make it as a starter in week 1, and then he got to make it to week 2 as a starter, and then he'll be at the crib as a starter against the Ravens for the very first time. Because we played him on the Jets. Did we play him anywhere else? I don't even remember, but with Joe Flacco, it'll be fun. But again, when you line them up, everything, Lamar Jackson got Joe Flacco individually, in my opinion, by far. As a player, like obviously Lamar Jackson is a lot better than Flacco. But again, Flacco got that Super Bowl trophy, that Super Bowl MVP, and we still waiting on Lamar Jackson to get one. So that would be my comparison for the two. Lamar Jackson has all the individual accolades, success. He's a better player. But Joe Flacco just got that Super Bowl trophy that we waiting on LJ to get. But he will soon.